What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 21. We're nearing the end of the season, and it definitely shows by what's going on in the plot, so feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and let's get into this. I'm very curious to see what happens in this episode. Things are being set in motion. I'm very curious how quickly Jinshi is going to be able to get the royal military up to the north to deal with this. Like, are we going to be sitting in the sort of tension of the army slowly approaching as Mao Mao has to figure out how to not get executed or anything? Or is it going to be just in this episode alone, shit goes down, and then everything else after this is just repercussions and maybe more? We'll have to see. I could easily see either way. Because though Apothecary Diaries is more of a slow burn of a series, as we've seen, it definitely knows how to pick up the pace when it needs to. And we'll just have to see what it does here. I really like the ending of that opening. Alright, are we back at... Yeah, okay. We're at the Stronghold. Lolan coming to Mau Mau? What are you thinking? He's making something. Ah. Yeah, that's impressive. Not exactly possible. It's sort of the only thing keeping you around right now. That too. That too, I suppose. Oh. Okay, choosing not to speak to her. Interesting. Seems like she's managing to stall, despite the fact that Shenmei said you have a day. Ah, the kids. Yep. I'm very interested in this backing track. Oh. More production of Feifas makes sense. A single warehouse wouldn't be enough. I guess that is a fair concern. Oh. Who's trying to contact her? Oh. Of course. Okay, so he's trying to help her, he's just bad at it. Oh, looks like she's been struck again. Yeah. She noticed the paper. Don't rock the boat. Don't cause Shenmei to get angry. Uh-oh. Alright, it's not going that simple. Oh, so that's his mom? Yeah, not looking good. Is this the first time he's seen her in a while? Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those claws are very intimidating. And the mom is just a blank stare. Jesus Christ. Probably still drugged. Yeah, it's impossible to get her aggression to not go somewhere. Water chamber? Yeah, she's sadistic. Yeah. But you have a sense of justice. Yeah. Cool! Yeah, we knew that was coming, but wow. I mean, she's gonna get all the anger now. And she's taking the fall. She's taking the fall. Wow, okay. The water chamber again. Oh, yeah, I guess that would be brutal. Yeah, she lets. Jesus, she lets her emotions and wish for just sadistic glee to. Oh my god! What the fuck? Uh, oh my god. Yeah. Both of you are quite alike in a lot of ways. Oh. What? What's that? Suirei's not reacting well. Something other than the water chamber? I can only imagine Lolan's doing this to save her in some kind of way. Probably still horrible torture, but something she'll survive. Oh. Yeah. An isolated room with something in a box. What is it? Ah, a type of snake and... Oh, bugs. Snakes and bugs. Is that why Suirei fears snakes? Jesus, that is freaky. Yeah. But little did you know, this is why Lolan does it. Oh no! She's in her element. Yeah, so Lolan did that knowing that rather than being torture, she'd be able to handle it. Is she cooking them somehow? Wow. Ah, fair. Wow. Fair. Wow. I mean, fair. Oh? Ah, it's on the way. Okay, so everything's going to shit. Oh my god, nothing can stop her. Alright, she got out of that pretty damn easy. Understandable why Suire is so afraid of snakes and stuff, though. Okay, what's she making? Well, what are they making? Gunpowder, I guess? For a second, I thought she went to making something. But, yep, you need way better filtration, like, to be able to do this. Oh, Lolan's here. Okay, she's helping him out. Everything's going to shit, so she's helping people. Yeah. Wow. And money for them. It's a lot of gunpowder. A little bit of the real her coming out, and she's setting off the gunpowder. Okay, Jesus Christ. She could have waited a moment there. And he probably thinks it was her. she, oh my god. Reckless to all hell, Lolan. Things are getting way bad, like, way faster than I thought. Okay, she got out. And she's immediately talking how she does when she see Shisui. Yeah. Yeah. But there's an explosion going on. We gotta get out. Okay. The two of them are getting out together. Oh? What? Save Suire? Save the other people? And Mamo follows. Okay. Yeah. That's not how abusive parents work, unfortunately. Oh, wow, okay, yeah. Not surprising, but ah, yeah. And you accepted it for a time. Yeah. Okay, so that's just how she naturally wants her like hairstyle and everything. Jesus Christ. Yeah, even her daughter. Yeah. Wow, okay. Mmm. Huh. She's your sister after all. Jesus Christ. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. First victim. Wow. Oh, it all connects back. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Jesus. You two have had a bit of a run-in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where the color blindness ties in. Okay. Lines up, makes sense. Ah. Hence the whole rebellion and such. What do you call her? One's a fake name, but the other is what she was going by when she was actually happy. There it is. Aww. There she is. Oh. Oh. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, what's wrong with him? Is he just asleep or? No. Is he alright? All of the kids? What? 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 What the fuck? So you thought this was just a... Oh my god. She fucking killed them because they... Oh my god. He accepted it? Jesus. Oh my god. What the fuck is happening? Another explosion? That's the end of the episode? You end the episode by showing us killed kids. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is going on? Shisui just killed several kids as a mercy killing. I mean, I guess if she saw no way out, she thought it would be better than whatever her mother would do to them. But that is fucked up. It's gonna be hard to come back from that, but I'm gonna try to talk about the episode as a whole. So rather than ever showing the perspective of Jinshi or anything going on with the army or him returning to the cause we get to identity, we focus entirely on Mao Mao as the army approaches and everything goes to shit. Before everything falls apart, though, there is one moment of great tension. Kyo, showing how much of a caring person he is, despite just being a kid, naively tries to help Mao Mao escape, not realizing that there's nowhere for her to go and there's no real way for him to actually hold off the guard, which they almost managed to get away from with no punishments, because the people who were there to punish them are Suirei and the guard. Of those four, none of them are happy in this situation. All of them are suffering underneath Shenmei. And so despite recognizing what is going on, Suirei tries to brush it off and accept this is nothing worth punishment. This was not a legitimate attempt to escape. Kyo was just playing around, that's it. And it almost worked. They almost were able to do it. But then, just unfortunately, Shenmei was there, coming around the corner right before they finished up. And now, this sadistic woman sees an opportunity to punish someone, to inflict pain and cruelty, and so she eagerly seeks it out. She first sets her sights on Kyo-u, the person who is obviously quote-unquote at fault here. And initially, because what is said is just that he was messing around and causing problems, it would be a much more minor punishment than what it escalates to. But this is Shenmei we're talking about. She loves causing pain. She is very much a sadist, so even a minor punishment would still be incredibly cruel. So Suirei, who is very much an actually very caring person just caught in a very tough circumstance, tries to calm Shenmei and stop her from punishing the kid, which only leads to it escalating and becoming an issue for both her and the guard. Suirei manages to not be directly punished outside of multiple strikes enough to break the fan that Shenmei has, but she doesn't get a further punishment, where Shenmei then directs her attention to, this is the fault of both Kyo-u and the guard, so I'll punish both of them. But Mao Mao is here, silently hearing all of this. And we know that she is not the kind of person to let this kind of shit happen. As much as Mao Mao wants to not rock the boat, she occasionally has her sense of justice overpower that. And so she just insults Shenmei, leading to her being the subject of all the punishment. Whether it was truly intentional or not, Mao Mao with that one comment draws all of the ire of Shenmei directly to her and away from everyone else. It is all but a death sentence for her, but she does it. And then this is where Lolin comes in. This is a web of people desperately trying to avoid punishment from Shenmei, trying to avoid her anger and her sadistic glee at causing them pain, with Lolin being one of the only people who has any chance of actually directing that anger and controlling it. She has to be careful. She cannot speak out against her mother or else she will be attacked. But she has the power to play to her mother's sadistic glee and say, rather than doing something that would kill Mao Mao, why don't we do this other thing that we have proof has caused lasting trauma and terror? But she does it knowing that if anyone could last through that and survive relatively unscathed, it's Mao Mao. And it works. Mao Mao is able to survive the isolated room filled with snakes and insects with no issue. She in fact gets a snack out of it. But it's here where everything begins to fall apart. After who knows how long in there, the guard returns to let Mao Mao out. The army is coming, the stronghold is in chaos, and he's getting the hell out, and Kyo and Suirei pled with him to let Mao Mao out before he leaves. Suirei is a good person in a horrible circumstance where she is being forced to do horrible things. When given the chance, she tries to help Mao Mao. She tries to save Kyo from punishment. Suirei is a good person. Kyo is an incredibly good kid. Everything he does is just with this naive, childlike wish for people to be happy and to make sure people like Mao Mao are okay. He's a kid still too young and naive to understand what is going on and why everything that's happening around him is happening. So he's just trying to help people. He's just trying to make sure that people are okay. Be thankful to people like Mao Mao and help them out when they help him. And we see by the end of the episode that it doesn't get him killed, but he does die anyways. Joe is a character that we have had ingratiated to us over the past several episodes, showing us how he is a good kid, a kind kid, a little bratty at times, doesn't always follow the rules, but he's a good kid. And now he's dead. But I'll come back to that later, because we have learned the exact details of who Suirei is descended from. It was a little bit complicated, so I had to go back and sort of think about it for a moment and read through the lines again. But if I'm understanding things correctly, feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm getting it wrong. I've gotten this wrong before. Suirei is the granddaughter of the first victim of the late emperor. And that grandmother, Taiho, was the lady-in-waiting of Suirei's mother when in the rear palace, which means that Suirei's mom is directly descended from the royal line. It means that in a different world, in a different timeline, Suirei would actually hold more power and influence than Shisui or Shenmei. But due to circumstances, due to Suirei's mother being cast out of the rear palace, that royal blood was never able to be acknowledged, which is just a wild chain of events to think about. It connects finally a lot of these various details that we have in relation to Suirei and the past of the late emperor, all leading together to Suirei being actually very closely connected to the royal family. It's the kind of thing that if Suirei gets out of this scenario alive and isn't imprisoned for her crimes, that information coming to the forefront and being revealed could mean a lot. The likelihood of that is fairly low, I would argue, just from a logic standpoint of everything she's done and everything surrounding what's happening, but it is possible. In a different world, in a possible future even, Suirei could actually be a good person who lives a very comfortable life if things just play out in the best way possible for her. Now, of course, this story isn't necessarily one that gives us the best outcome for everyone. We see that at the end of this episode, but it's possible. It's a hope, perhaps. We'll have to see if it comes to pass. But then for the rest of the episode, I think I want to touch on Lolin. or Shisui. Just as Mao Mao was struggling to decide, I'm struggling to decide what to call her. Lolin is her real name, but I would argue that Shisui is in many ways her true name. We see how before they enter the room with the dead kids, how she reacts to being called Shisui by Mao Mao. She returns to the same attitude and feeling and vibe that she does when she was Shisui. That is who she is. That is who she wants to be. But it's also not that simple. Shisui is a kind person, a caring person. We learn in this episode that she would sneak out, pretend to be a servant, to hang out with her sister, to hang out with Suirei, and that it was here that she learned that her mother does not recognize her if she is not dressed up in the way she normally is. In this episode, she offers money to all of the workers in the gunpowder factory and lets them escape, giving a major distraction, destroying all the gunpowder. She's a bit reckless as she threw fire onto the gunpowder before she was safely out of the room, before anyone was safely out of the room. But Shisui is not the full picture. Lolin is also there. The influence of her mother exists. She is her mother's daughter, in a way. She does not have the same sadism or cruelty, but she has, to a degree, even in this outright rebellion, accepted some amount of inevitable defeat, inevitable submission to her mother. What I question is what is different between her trying to save the workers and killing the kids. Those workers clearly were not healthy, clearly were not doing well. All she gave them was money and a distraction. Why couldn't she do the same for the kids? Perhaps she thought that there was no way to get them to abandon their family, to abandon their parents who were trapped in Shenmei's drug-filled hive. The exact reasons we'll have to see next episode if they are given at all, but the fact that she was capable of that in the first place is telling, and it leads me to question a lot about Shisui. Literally moments before entering the room, we are having a moment of realizing that's Shisui. She's here. She is that kind girl who we met before, who just wants to be a normal person. And then we step into a room full of kids she's killed. It's hard to grapple with those two one after another. But what makes it crueler still is the fact that it seems like Kyoru was able to recognize what was going on at the very end, but accepted it anyways. My exact thoughts on this are something I don't think I can finalize here just immediately after this episode. I'm gonna have to think about it for a while, and it is one hell of a way to end an episode. But with that, I don't think I really have too much more to say. The ending of the episode truly sort of destroys any thought surrounding anything else to a degree. So I will leave that to future me, in future episodes, in future reactions. But for now, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.